Okay, so now in this video, let's see how to detect a normality in case of jamovi. Let's revise our concept. So as we have seen in the descriptive statistics, there are two kind of variables which we have. One is categorical variable and one is continuous variable. So in jamovi, whenever we'll double click on any of the variable, we can see whether it is a categorical, that is nominal variable, or whether it is a continuous variable. Now, in case of categorical variable, we usually don't see normality. There we report mean frequency and percentage. While in case of continuous variable, we'll see for the normality, where we'll either report it as mean and standard deviation or median and IQR. So let's see how to do it in jamovi. We have to first go to data analysis, to exploration and descriptives. Now let's see, for now I am dragging a categorical variable in the right hand side. So now you see there is no median standard deviation reported in this case, since it is a categorical variable. And as we know, for categorical variables we have to click on frequency tables. So we'll get the frequency and percentage for in case of categorical variable. Now whenever we'll drag any of the continuous variable here, you can see that it has reported mean, median, standard deviation, minimum and maximum. Now whether to report mean, whether to report median and standard deviation or IQR will depend on the normality of the data. So for checking normality in jamovi, we have two options. The one option is Shapiro-Wilk test, which is normality testing, and the other option is QQ plot. Now let's say when we'll apply Shapiro-Wilk test and when we will apply QQ plot. So usually it is like whenever your data set has 50 or less data, you will go ahead with Shapiro-Wilk test. And when your data set has more than 50 data, then we'll go for QQ plot. Now as we can see in our data set, n is 60. That is the number of the data entry is total 60. So in this case, ideally we should go for QQ plot. But for the sake of demonstration, we'll see both, that is Shapiro-Wilk test as well as QQ plot. Now Shapiro-Wilk will come as a p-value, and it is one of those tests, one of those named tests where the p-value is opposite. Like usually we consider that p-value of less than 0.05 is significant, but here p-value of more than 0.05 will be considered as normally distributed or normal, while p-value of less than 0.05 will be considered as not normally distributed. So here we can see that the Shapiro-Wilk p-value is in both the cases is more than 0.05. So we can assume that it is normally distributed. But the Shapiro-Wilk is more of a subjective kind of objective kind of thing, and QQ plot is a subjective kind of thing where it will depend on person to person. Like whenever we'll follow this straight line, and we can see that the data set is almost aligned with the with that line. So here we can say that the data is normally distributed. If the data was scattered around this, so it could have been not normally distributed. Now when the data is normally distributed, we usually report mean and standard deviation. So here in the jamovi interface, we'll just uncheck median, we'll uncheck missing since there is no missing data, we'll uncheck n as well because we'll write in the title itself, and minimum maximum, it's your choice whether to report or not. So now you can see again, since the sample size is more than 50, we'll also uncheck the Shapiro-Wilk test. Now you can see this is the data which you have to report for a continuous variable after checking normality. So we can see we have reported mean and standard deviation. Now let's see with any other variable. Let's say fasting blood glucose. Now in this QQ plot, can you see there are many outliers? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. These are many outliers, meaning that the data is not normally distributed. Again, which will not be which we can see on the Shapiro-Wilk as well. Although the sample size is more than 50, but here also Shapiro has given p-value of less than 0.05, meaning the data it is not normally distributed. Although going by rule, we have to use QQ plot in case of a sample size more than 50. So we can see there are many outliers, meaning the data is not normally distributed. So in this case, we don't usually report mean. We'll report median and interquartile range. So we'll uncheck mean and standard deviation. We'll click on median and interquartile range, or you can click for percentages as well. Now I'll uncheck the Shapiro-Wilk, and we can see that the median fasting blood glucose is 111 with interquartile range of 71. In the previous video itself, we have seen how can we detect these outliers and how can we address these outliers in jamovi. So this is how, whenever we'll see for any continuous variable, first and most important thing is to check for normality of that variable or data set. If it is normally distributed, we'll report it as mean and standard deviation. If it is not normally distributed, we will report it as median and IQR. So stay tuned for the next video where we'll see how to apply chi-square test in jamovi. Thank you.